And I'm telling you, I keep coming up more and more. I just reviewed my proof number 7. And here's number 8. I'm going to tell you, number 8 is to give you a highlight on number 7. It's about the clown. I'm going to give you a little bit more. What's right behind here is lovebirds. Lovebirds, that which so happens to be in one of my other YouTubes regarding. Now, when I say proof, it's exactly what it is. It is absolutely has not been any of the images, I swear to you, have I ever tried to deceive you in any way. These are thousands and thousands of images that is in my painting that I am going to prove to you over and over until the day I die that the Mona Lisa is in my painting. It's absolutely in my painting, no matter what. No matter what, it's in my painting because I've showed it to you. Now you see the hands. Here is the hands. These are the hands. And when you transform, like you see the different colors, how they're not the same over here, and the black is not the same as their hands. But when it gets transformed, they turn into lovebirds. They are making love. Okay? Absolutely. How magnificent is that? Absolutely flooring. You can't get better than that. Hidden works of Leonardo da Vinci is in every different layer. Imagine putting ice cream in a cup and you put vanilla, then the next you put chocolate, then you put caramel, then you put strawberry, then you put raspberry, then you put orange sherbet, and you continue in those layers. Just like when the ocean eroses the earth and you see the layers of how the water lines are. That is what Leo does in every depth, every sheet, every penetration, every pole, every chemical. And it gets wilder than that. It gets wilder than what I'm saying. I mean, take a look at my YouTubes. These are the images I cannot fabricate. Okay, now we're going to get to where I'm going to show you more proof on number 8 that how Leonardo da Vinci has hidden his works in his works, like we have said. He is absolutely magnificent. Now, remember, this is a diary, it's a registry, it is a will. It has all his friends and pupils and associates and loved ones, all his works from the moment that he was picking up that brush and playing with is in this painting. His whole life is in this painting. Every stitch, every writing, every love note, every bill, every secret, every code, every single thing you can think of is hidden in that painting that I have found so far. That's the God's honest truth. Now, back to the clown. This is a clown, and I'm going to zoom in and get this and see if I can stay on top of this, because I lose you guys all the time by me not focusing on the zooms. So forgive me on the zooms. And I'm very sorry, because I really screw up on that, and some of them I have to start over. But if you take a look, this is a smiling face here. This is a smiling face. These two images are identical. You're going to see that this skull here, okay, which I need to click on so it gets a little bit there, and this image moves, and I'm going to show you how this, I call him a little mouse on a straight rod. I don't know why he reminds me of a mouse. He just does. He's probably going to be some giant, jolly green giant or something by the time he grows into something. But anyway, when this gets overlaid, you're going to see how the image of the representing of a bird, of a beak, that this actually becomes a guy with a shoulder like my man over here, that I'm going to bring over because I'm too, see, like the shoulder, he changes my man's face into a beak of a bird. Why? Because he was into birds. He was into flight. So I'm going to overlay this for you to see how it matches right there. Now I'm going to pull this down so I get this one out of the way for a second, okay? Because it's in the way. Okay, so we're going to overlay this for you to see the highlight of how it fits. See how it fits? See how the mouth, boom, is in there, the eye's in there, the V. Here's a trick of Leo, okay? If you take a look, there's this little line that runs here, right here. The little line with a little V, and it continues. Here's this little line going right across. Here's another line. But anyway, here's a little dots, and a little V. Here's this little V with this line, and he's got this one little dot up above, just giving a little portion of this mouse that I told you about. Well, that's nothing. That's nothing. Because if you see, here's this skull that's got this circle piece. And when you put it up, it takes the circle part exact, and it covers the circumference of the empty spot that is in here for this skull. See? See how this skull? Well, I don't want to shift this off too bad, because for the reason is I will get off on my blue. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to show you another particular image, which is of another image that I'm going to overlay over again, that was preset, and how it fits exact. Now if you see, here's a little line that runs through, and he has this V again, okay? Now these are different transforms. Why? Because each layer gives you a different image. So watch how all these match, and how this matches like the other, and it fits within the skull, within the empty spot. But he gives you a little more. He does, because you see how this actually fits over here and not just here, because he makes his paintings move, okay? And when I'm going to show you the other ones, how this is very vague. This is a very vague pole. I agree, because I got a whole bunch over here for you. When this gets into different poles, it comes out more and more. So when we're going to put this back up, and we're going to take a look to see, you'll find images that if you take a look, you see this rod that runs through here. This is like a person pulling a sled. So he's hiding in this skull other images that get highlighted. So I take this, I move it on up, even though it doesn't match, and let me put it in the dark area. You can see, not too good because it's got the blue in the background, you can see this black and this person here that's coming. So these are things you have to fight to find. It's that hard. So Leonardo da Vinci, again, is a big trickster. So bear with me on that factor. And I'm going to, and you can see the cut line running really good for this little mouse thing on a straight line. So anyway, let me put this down and let me get you into something else here. Okay, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. Here's this skull again. Okay, and this comes the tricky part. This is a really good one, because the skull, see how when I go here in the darkness, you can see the skull with the skull, how you have to use a background black, and you can see how there's a sled in here somewhere, and you can see how some of these other images are changing. Okay, well, that's what we have to fight. Okay, so we get the skull and we match the mouth with the mouth, and you see this line running. Here's the line that's running to match this mouse line. There's a straight line here with this mouse right here. Okay, and you see this little tiny V? Well, he moved it because the mouse is going this way. But if we back up the mouse and line up the V, he's over here. Because each time you shift it, this fits here, this fits here, this fits here, and it continues. And it actually gets all the way over to here where it butts up and comes down just a hair. But here comes another portion. Watch. You see, I call him the Statue of Liberty right here. This image here, the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so this Statue of Liberty, let me move this, and I want to shine this right to this area. It's got these little auroras, and we got the V, right? And we got the line for the mouse, and we got this little triangle. Okay, bear with me. You got to really study what I'm going to do here, because this is why I redid this video. Here we got the clown. Here we got the little dot. Here we got the little line. Now here's the Statue of Liberty. See what he did, he puts the Statue of Liberty here, he puts it here, he puts it here. He gives you these little circles. Why is he doing these little circles? Because he's moving it. So we put this up here so it matches, right? Here it matches. But the Statue of Liberty is higher, you see? So what you do, okay, see, you can even see how it fits in here, and even the skull. But Leonardo da Vinci's works fits everywhere. You can even see above the piece that there's another circle that this fits. But I want to show you, and there's another circle, so when it goes to fit, okay, right there. Because like what I told you, he makes some move. So if I shift this over, it's going to go over to here. If I bring it down, watch. Okay, so I bring it down and it's going to fit right into here. This is the way Leo does his tricks. Now, when we get back over, after it's already lined up into the triangle of the clown with an eye and a mouth, if I was to reduce this particular piece here, and I'm going to reduce it down, and I'm going to put it above that piece, look how she fits. She fits right exactly over the particular piece. So he gives you another marking, because these skull pieces, if you take a look at the skull, there's a face here. See? There's a face that reads into here. So if you take a look here, there's another V face. So when you shift this over, this fits here and this triangle fits here. So he gives you a little, again, he's a cheater. He's a bad boy. Bad boy. Okay, so we go back up, because I always like it back to where I originally started, and I put the triangle back up into there. Okay, why? Well, when Leo does it, why can't I do it the way I want it to? Okay, and besides, it's my YouTube and it's you guys watching, and if you guys can tell me that you don't want me to do it, well, then you guys speak up, because I can't hear you right now. Okay, so anyway, it's a joke. Okay, you know that. I gotta have some of your friends over here. Okay, so this is where it's back again. So I'm going to take this image, as you know. If you've been following, if I've been explaining right, I'm going to take this image and I'm going to move it off, and I'm going to go on to the next one and hope, okay, there's a few layers here. Here's another layer that's not as good. Not as good, but each good or bad has something, because it's in a layer. Never give up. Never give up. Okay, so here's the image and it fits in here, but it's in reverse because it's so dark. So I got to take this and I got to shift it in reverse, and that means I got to go up one notch or two, and I go up two. As you can see, here's the Statue of Liberty and how it fits perfect in this row, and it still fit the triangle without me moving from the second. Okay, why? Well, it's under the different transfer of pole of Leo. Okay, and you can see this little image here, how it's fitting in this circle hole. In this circle hole, you can see through this. Screen shoot all you want, okay? Because none of this is fake, and all of this you will see. And you can turn your phone, if you lock it in, 360 degrees, and you will find tons more images than what I've got a chance to do, because I got the whole painting front and back to deal with and hadn't even touched the back. Okay, so in this part, and I'm going to review this YouTube. When I review it, I'm going to find even more and make another one. I'll make so many off this skull, it's not even funny. Not only that, it spells out Leonardo in my signature. So here, we're going to put this one, two, back up here, and we're going to move this one, because we already know that it fits without even moving over the Statue of Liberty. Now, on this particular one, I consider it pretty rough because it's so bright. But when it's so bright, look at, here it is, and here's the triangle, which is the party hat, and it fits right in there perfectly. So you could see the skull bleeding through, you could see the man being in here, you could see how this man's starting to transform, being a little man looking this way. That's the way Leo is, okay? And it's cool. So what? Leo's that way. He's just that way. Let Leo be what Leo is, because Leo is the best, okay? There's going to be other images in the YouTube I'm going to be looking to see and find, but you know, right now I'm even examining while I'm doing it. I don't have complete time to go through a master of masters. This guy is the master of masters. So I'm going to put that off to the side and go for the final. I think it's the final one. It may not be. It could be all day me and you be here. We're going to see. Because you know what? You are here for history and to teaching. And now you got to teach, teacher, and don't forget to subscribe. Now here's a trick. This is a trick. See, this image here, it needs to be shifted up. But if you leave it low, the mouth, this mouth that fits in here also fits perfectly in this circle. If you see this circle, it's the same as this because he makes it go up and down. Leo is a magnificent. So that's why I left it that way. And look at the little dots here. See these little dots that run around? Fits perfect also just like the second to the last one that surrounds it, and how the skull fits perfectly within. So he gives me, okay, I didn't find this in the sense, even though we can say I find it. I consider it a gift that he gave me these finds, because I don't know how I can consider myself to be so good and so fortunate. I've studied this thing for 7 years and have well over 1,000 YouTubes, and I'm very persistent, and I don't want to have the answers. So maybe I do deserve credit. I don't know. All I know is that I care. I care about being honest. I don't want to deceive you in any way. These are facts of what I'm showing you. And look at it is just absolutely magnificent. So let's play another game. We're going to take this image and we're going to move it up to like right here. Then we're going to take this image and we're going to move it on up, and we're going to overlay the crown over the crown in this area, and we're going to have to get a little bit more higher. And when we do, you can see how the skull even fits more. He's got a line in here. See, if you follow, here's a line here, and a line, and a line, and a line. See how he's got a line running across here? So he gives you a marking in different ways. Okay, that's the way Leo is, and I love the guy. He's magnificent, and he had so many people love this man. He had more friends than I could ever dream of, and I ended up, like I said the other day, about 900 friends in the last 9 weeks. He's taught me in many different ways to appreciate life in such a great way. So now what we're dealing in is we're dealing in a Leonardo da Vinci painting, and excuse me, and I must say that I am being disturbed right now by somebody couldn't hear through the door. I'm sorry about that, and I really tried hard to make things right. So listen, I need you to know that I'm working in my garage. I can use some images here to help me out. I can use some good comments and some more friends. I would appreciate if you guys can still wear your mask, wash your hands, and social distance. I want to say may God bless the whole world, the whole universe, and the whole heavens. Also, I'd like to know if I can beg my friends to social media this. I am very lousy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I need some friends to get out there and start using those thumbs and fingers and calling and rattling, you know, bug your friend. What else is that for? Bug your friend, help me, your new friend, I'm Alan Cook, the proud owner of the Dion. It is a lost Leonardo da Vinci painting. It belongs next to the Mona. It is the older Mona Lisa being serenaded by Jesus Christ. Follow my YouTubes and you will find thousands of images that are identical, that match it within. There's nothing that I have not found of Leonardo da Vinci's as of today. And that's the God's honest truth. Check out the Rubik's Cube Man, the Pointing Lady, the Last Supper, the X-ray of the Mona Lisa, the signature of Leonardo da Vinci, the writing of Melzi Francesca, the writing of Sully. All three men, Leonardo, Sully, and Melzi, all live together. They're all in this painting. All the writings in this painting. His birth date, his death date, or rest in peace. There's just so much. His mustache is in the Last Supper. There's the big G is in the eye of my man, which stands for Giovanni. He signs his name so many times. He signs LOVE all the time. He writes his name over and over and over again. Why does he do that? Because he's obsessed. He has an ism. He has an ism of love. He loves everybody. I love everybody. We're both nuts. We're twins, Bopsy twins, anything you want. The three of them are always together. You'll find a lot of three images.